3 mistakes, 1 camera, no edits. Before we get to what went wrong, you need to understand what right looks like on a Bugatti. Every cut has a procedure document. Every weld has a certified technician. Every fitting has a torque spec written by someone who already made the mistake you're about to make, and documented it so you never have to. Matt Armstrong doesn't have the document. The first mistake happened on the radiator. Matt was modifying a fitting, a small adjustment, the kind you do 100 times without thinking. Then he stopped, looked at what he'd done, thinned the wall out. Too close. His words, "I will never be able to get to it in the future." That sentence is the whole story, not panic, not excuses. Just the quiet acknowledgement that he got too close and now the clock is running. Bob sealed it before final assembly. Crisis contained. But here's the part that doesn't get said enough. Matt caught it because he looked. At 3 a.m., after weeks of this. He stopped and looked. That's not a skill you're born with. The second mistake is where it gets interesting. Bob wasn't there. The radiator bracket was leaking. Matt had watched Bob Tig weld aluminum dozens of times. He had the equipment. He practiced on scrap first, spent real time getting the feel of it. Then he attempted the real weld. Pressure tested it. Still leaking. Bob came back, fixed it in minutes. Here's what Matt did next. And this is the part that explains the millions of subscribers. He almost didn't show it. He said that on camera. I wasn't going to show you guys this part. Then he showed it anyway. The failed weld, the test that confirmed it failed. The moment Bob erased in minutes what Matt couldn't do in hours. He showed it because the failure was the point. Anyone can post the highlight reel. Matt posts the full cost. But there's a technical reason the weld failed that goes deeper than skill. Aluminum conducts heat 5 times faster than steel. The margin for error isn't smaller. It's a different category of problem entirely. A Bugatti technician doesn't TIG weld aluminum because they're more talented. They don't do it because they have a protocol that says don't. Matt learned the same lesson in real time, in the dark with a camera rolling. The third mistake, the one he called not good at all, is still unresolved. A sensor, twisted to the 10 past position, needs to be at 25 too. Found it after the first drive. And fixing it means the car may need to be partially split again. The same car that took over a year to put back together. The same split that defined the entire rebuild. He found it and set it on camera before he even knew how bad it was going to be to fix. That's the thing about Matt Armstrong. The mistakes aren't what define him. It's the 3 seconds after he finds them. He doesn't flinch. He just starts figuring out what comes next. The car was almost done. That's the part you need to hold on to. Not almost done like a few more weeks, almost done like they could see it. The finish line was closer than it had ever been across this entire rebuild. And that's exactly when the night started going wrong. Here's something nobody tells you about aluminum before you try to weld it. Steel is forgiving. It warns you. It changes color as it heats up. Orange, then yellow, then white. And those colors are your margin. Your window to react. Aluminum gives you nothing. It sits there looking exactly the same until the moment it doesn't. And by then, the puddle is already gone. That's the wall Matt hit when he picked up the TIG torch. Not skill, physics. But before we get to the weld, there's a number you need to know. 10, not 5, not 2, 10 millimeters. The replacement radiator core that Bob sourced, matched to spec, built for this application, came back from the manufacturer 10 millimeters wider than the original. Nobody caught it until Bob tried to fit it against the chassis, and the mounting points simply didn't line up. His face on camera said everything. He'd been staring at these dimensions for days. The number should have matched. It didn't. Here's the part that changes what that mistake means. More core isn't a problem. More core is more surface area. More surface area is more heat transfer. The radiator that arrived wrong is thermally better than the original Bugatti part it was replacing. Matt's reaction the moment he worked that out, it's got more chance of staying cool, is the sound of someone who has been doing this long enough to know that not every problem is actually a problem. Bob moved the brackets 10 millimeters. The radiator fit. Crisis reclassified. But that modification took time. And the TIG weld attempt took time. And time, at 3 in the morning after weeks of this, is the one resource that was already gone. That's the context for what happened next. Because the third mistake isn't really a welding story or a bracket story. It's a fatigue story. The sensor was installed at the beginning of this rebuild, months ago, when the chassis was split in half over a year into this project. It sat in a specific rotational position relative to the 2 chassis sections, a position that made sense when the sections were apart, and needs to be at the 2 o'clock position now that they're back together. It isn't. It's at 10 o'clock. Wedged. trapped between the chassis sections at the wrong angle, and the only way to fix it is to create enough separation between those same sections to free it and rotate it back. Not a full split, but partial, which means loosening bolts on both chassis sections simultaneously, which means revisiting a process that took months to complete in the first place. Matt's response when he found it: "That is not good at all." Then a pause. "Then, I guess that's what you get for splitting a car in half when you've not done it before. No blame, no deflection." Not a word about missing documentation or factory support or the impossible conditions under which this whole rebuild has been conducted. Just, "I haven't done this before, and this is what happens when you learn by doing it." Now here's what TIG welding aluminum actually requires. Because the failure matters technically, not just narratively. Bob has been doing this for decades. His hands know the timing before his brain processes it. The sound of the puddle, the exact moment to feed the filler rod, the feel of heat moving through aluminum at 5 times the rate it moves through steel. That knowledge isn't transferable by watching. It comes from failing at aluminum TIG welding hundreds of times until the failure stops. Matt failed once, acknowledged it immediately. Called Bob. Bob fixed it in minutes. That is not embarrassing. That is the correct sequence. What is remarkable is what Matt did with the footage. He almost cut it. Said that on camera. He almost edited out the entire sequence because watching a radiator come on and off isn't entertainment. Then he put it back in. The failed weld. The pressure test that confirmed it failed. The moment Bob arrived and closed the gap in minutes that Matt had spent far longer trying to cross. He showed it because the failure was the point. A channel that promises to show how hard this actually is cannot survive the moment it starts hiding the hard parts. 3 mistakes. 1 night. A bracket cut too close to a fitting that will be sealed forever once final assembly is done. A TIG weld that failed against physics and decades of muscle memory Matt hasn't built yet. A sensor trapped 90 degrees from where it needs to be inside a chassis that was just driven for the first time. And then the car drove. After all of it, after 3 in the morning and the failed weld and the 10mm core and the trapped sensor, the Veyron moved under its own power. Temperature held, gearbox smooth. The bracket that was cut too close held pressure. 3 mistakes happened and the car drove anyway. The sensor still needs fixing. The partial split is coming. But here is what those 3 mistakes in 1 night actually mean. Not as failures, but as data points about what this rebuild has required from the start. No procedure documents, no official specifications, no engineer who has done this exact repair before. Every decision made in real time, with incomplete information, at 3 in the morning with whatever was available. Under those conditions, finding all 3 mistakes before they became permanent problems isn't a failure rate. It's a success rate. The question Matt asked himself when he found the sensor, "I hope I haven't damaged it," is the question that defines this entire project. Not whether to do it. Not whether it's possible. Just what did I break and what does it take to fix it? Tell me in the comments. When Matt said he almost cut the weld sequence, does that change how you watch his videos? Because the sensor is still trapped, the partial split is still coming, and there are 5 things between this car and a number plate.